you already have, do you find that they'll let you use them as a reference?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, let's say some other credibility things. You have the length of the who actually speaks about Dr. Damadian? Does anybody speak about Dr. Damadian in the presentation? I think that should be used as heavily for credibility. I think the story from that book that can be told in a short amount of time, a minute or two, is very impressive from the standpoint of an investor's thinking. The way that this was developed and the way he hung in and all the awards that that short biography, I think carries a lot of weight and credibility to an investor.
We're the oldest and most experienced MRI company. I mean, we've been around for a long time.
Right.
And, you know, when I speak to doctors, I like to make sure that they also know that our product is made here in the USA.
You have the flag on the website. I think that's great.
You know, the first patent submitted by Fonar was of a patient standing upright in 1972.
The patent, I'm sure the patent.
Yeah.
What's the patent number? I happen to know it, so I'm just wondering if anybody knows it. What's that?
832.
832, that's right, the last numbers. What's the whole patent number?
Kentucky.
3,789,832. That's right. Know those things. Little factors like that to an investor who's a thinker are impressive that you can pull that out.
Oh, I know one. Speaking of that, then, how many
Yep.
patents do we have on the equipment?
Number of patents?
Do you know how many?
I didn't know there were 140. I've only read the first 139, so I better get to that one. Number of patents is huge. How about the fact that the other guys wanted to steal it?
We always talk about that.
Yeah. That's a great credibility point.
You have to qualify one thing, of the 144, the number's changing all the time.
Yeah.
So you'd have to ask Tony Giamballo what's the latest in terms of the total number of issued patents, but not all of them are on the upright. Some of them are historical before they existed in the upright, so for accuracy.
Okay, yeah. But that's, for a company to hold that number of patents.
A large percentage of them are.
Right. What we're throwing in now, Doctor, I was asking all the credibility points that people use when they're out doing the presentation, so that's what we're generating. What else? What do you say when you talk about competition from a credibility standpoint?
They make a fine scanner if you want to scan a patient recumbent lying down with no load. You know,
Do you talk about the miseducation that they put out there because of the inability to be able to build the technology?
The only way you talk about it, say, hey, if I didn't have the upright, I wouldn't say very good things about it. And just leave it.
So I think that's a big point in selling is that they can't make it.
That's right.
It changes everything when nobody else can make it to an investor. That really is a very, very big point. That shows that it's been tested, it'll hold, and it makes it a stronger investment.
got a lot.
Well, that's an important point because the counter argument and what the competition would like everybody to believe was that if the product was worth anything, surely the four elephants would make it.
Right.
Ergo, since they're not making it, it can't be of any value.
So we'll turn it and make them play defense rather than the other way around.
Well, it makes sense to our customers. When we say that we are the only MRI company that works with supercon resistive magnets, okay, permanent magnets, we're the only company that had the experience. And we came to the conclusion that when you have a magnet that doesn't use helium or cryogen, just a electricity, that means that our magnet doesn't have to be on 24 hours, whether we have patients or not. That decreases the reliability of the system. When we don't have patients, we turn the magnet off. Okay? We are the only company that took into consideration the patient's welfare, claustrophobic, scanning children without having to inject them. mother can hold a child on her lap to keep him quiet. We scan a patient, this patient up to 500 pounds. We are the only company that scans a patient while he watches TV. Okay? So we took the technology not only in quality, but patient friendliness.
These are features and benefits, guys. Everyone at the end of them, you could ask, is that what you're looking for? And people are the bobbleheaded.
How
Yes.
can I say no?
We are probably the only magnet that's considered a green magnet.
What does that mean?
Well, like cryogens, you have to get rid of them, you have to dispose of them.
Right?
Ours is water cooled, so it's environmentally friendly.
Green magnet. Boy, people love that green word now. If
Especially
you
in
can throw that, oh yeah, especially in California, the East Coast. If you can throw green into anything, look at the advertising on TV. Anytime they can throw green into anything, they'll throw it in.
That's why I just threw it.
Yeah, that's actually a great one to throw in. You know, there's interesting, I haven't heard the biggest one.
The cost of helium and cryogenic.
Well, that's is
Went up
huge.
considerably.
Right, it's huge.
Okay.
But radiation, nobody mentioned radiation.
Every magnet.
No, I'm saying of asking all the features and benefits of the group. That should be one of the first, right?
Well, when you're selling it against an MRI competitor, there's no differentiation, right?
Right, but we're going to make that argument, for example, of its value and why the market share of those scoliosis patients are going to come over. So we definitely want to mention as one of the features and benefits that there's no radiation. And that goes on like what you said. A mother can hold her baby sitting in it, and there's absolutely no problem with doing that. You can stand, I can't remember the gentleman who I ran into who said he's been in an MRI longer than anybody else. Somebody here, one of people that works overseas said he's been in the, every day, all day, he's been in, I'm trying to think who it was I was introduced to.
That's the guy walking around glowing right now.
That's right. Well, he's not glowing. That's the amazing thing. He's not glowing.
But his animal line,
And he got younger.
He's getting younger. That's right. So radiation for sure is from the feature and benefits. We want that there.
But when you
That's doing good.
present it to a customer,
Yeah.
you present it with the premise. Wouldn't you want to have an MRI that you watch TV?
Yeah.
Wouldn't you want to have an MRI that doesn't turn away patients because they're obese?
Right.
Wouldn't you want to have an MRI that is practically made for children?
Right.
Wouldn't you want to have an MRI that no claustrophobic problem?
Yeah.
No noise problem, okay? He has to say yes to all of those questions.
Right. And these are the locks, guys. Start paying very close attention to the way, and there's nothing wrong with this, in my opinion, in sales, to be tightening the screws, so to speak, on the client. We're trying to not let him out of the things that he's already agreed to with us. So the way that we question and use the questionnaire and then feature, benefit, and confirm is what's locking him up coming down to the close. Okay? We need to use every one of, for example, I'll give you an example just of a feature, benefit, and confirm, the application to children. Doctor, do you have situations where you know the child won't go into an MRI? Every one of them knows one that won't. Do you like to put children under when you're sending them into an MRI? Obviously not. So doctor, if there was, or investor, if there was an option where you had an easy way where the mother could even go into the MRI and hold their baby while it's being done, would you see that as a better option? Absolutely. So doctor, do you see the difference between the recumbent machine and the upright machine? Yes. Do you see the difference between scanning that's based in radiation and scanning that a magnet is used, no radiation? Yes. That is the trick to selling it. And I know we're all seasoned, but to remind us of the times when we have gotten closes, we have hit every single base that needed to be hit with that client. The decision was clear, and now they make it easy to jump in. The people that we are stalled with, I would argue, are the people that there are little simple things that are getting in the way that we missed some of these things. There was a benefit that we didn't confirm, or maybe because we didn't ask, he really didn't believe you. where he didn't agree with what you were saying and he needed more proof